The purposes of this video are to disprove the blatant, I mean, I don't know what else to call it, fake news narratives that are spun about me. To literally say Sen gets off to animated CPs, like what the I kind of get it, because again, it's like, when I was denying that those logs were me, I swear to God, guys, everybody was bowing down to me, no question asked. Like, it was so easy. So I kind of get why they need to try to do the smear campaign thing. They're just not good, you know? And I don't say this as a narcissist or wanting to become the next Rakeda. I just say it, like, objectively. I mean, if you really can't win an argument, and your de facto thing is to go mauled and make a video calling me like the worst things imaginable, well, what am I supposed to think? And again, it doesn't help that some of you guys that have made that argument on me for less or whatever are currently defending a file groomer. Like, that doesn't help at all. Like, it is just essentially smear pieces. Hell, recently, there's been people promoting those smear pieces. This guy is from Patrick Melton's chat. He's an irrelevant little chatter. He used to ride my dick as well, up until a certain point, but again, they have MrSEN derangement syndrome, a lot of these people. Anytime I like they become disgruntled by me or something, it's always, let's go to what he did when he was 18, and I didn't even do anything, fam. I didn't request lolly in those things at all. I didn't request anything but a selfie from this person, because I was down bad at the time. Not so down bad anymore, I'd like to think. But literally, there was no request of lolly. There was no message where the catfish said, I'm going to become a lolly now. There's none of that. There was Sting, and there was the catfish for some reason posting all these random images. Some of them, by the way. And this is why things get so autistic with the anime shit, right? To where I don't even want to I don't even want to analyze this. It is what it is. Like, some of the images, you know how they say a lolly is typically flat-chested and their body is blah blah blah, and that's how you can tell or whatever? Well, some of these images straight up had like tits from what I can see. So it's kind of difficult to like understand at that point. You know, I don't want to be like tipster and be like, is this lolly? And if so, why? Like, that's kind of memeable. That's kind of stupid. I'd rather take a new approach. Like, I like to call this the gym approach, where I'm not going to make a big fuss about it, but I'm going to clearly tell you where I stand on this. Like, I cannot become the lolly grifter that is Reb Says Disu. I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable with that. Reb strikes me as the type of guy that would defend, well, let me use an example, like Spy X Family. He would defend people looting up the child in that, which is, by the way, very obvious that they are a child. Like, not only are they canonically in the story one, but you can tell from, like, the way they look. Like, that's right there. There's no mistaking it. I don't really care if it's fiction when it comes to that, when those two criteria are met, and you have a perfectly good yor that you can loot up right there. God, that bitch is bad. Like, and you choose to focus on the little girl. It's like, no, bro. Like, and the nicest way I could put it is agree to disagree. That up. Like, that's mentally ill shit. Again, just agree to disagree, I guess. And anybody else that's less nice than me, they say I'm never nice. I'm actually more nice than people give me credit for. Anybody else, I mean, you reap what you sow on that. Look, I can't defend you guys, right? I thought about doing the lolly griff like Reb for a second, because I'm like, well, that would solve, logically that would solve all my issues, but I don't have I don't have the heart to do it, man. I feel like if you don't have the heart to do something or the motivation, you're just not gonna do it, and you're not gonna do it effectively. And trust me, Reb, with all those numbers that he sees, both, you know, the money and the clout, I don't blame him for being motivated to do this shit. Though I think it's necessarily good, not really, but that's like just kind of one of those moral things, you know? But like I said, my gym approach would be like not making that big of a deal about it. Just please, oh my god, please don't become Reb's community here. Like, for example, Jim isn't rushing to pedo jacket like Pipkin Pippa in his community. From what I've seen, he's been pretty friendly with the VTuber crowd. I think he's even endorsed Pippa. The same thing with people like Legal Mindset. He's not really pedo jacketing VTubers, even though there's like an argument over there that people are making that all VTubers are peds at this point. I'm looking to be there, just like kind of take their approach, right? Oh, since I'm leaving no rock unturned, or whatever the saying is, I almost forgot about this one over here. This is one of the things that they say that this is how I engage. So this is like the half-truth bit that Rakeda does. And they say that, like, oh, you engaged because you said this, and yeah, I did say this. This is in regards to like an image that the catfisher actually posted at one point. And it's basically two anime characters, one on top of the other and stuff, one male on top of the female and stuff. And the reason I posted that and said this is because it was me saying, I'm gonna be on top of you, basically. I guess that in itself is like one of those half-truth, like, did you engage in the lolly roleplay? It's like, well, by that logic, sure, I guess. But like, then again, what the even is the lolly roleplay, right? Like, we've been through this and I've said, where do I ask for lolly? Where do I show that, like, where do I even say, hey, Jared, hey, I'm actually really into this shit, so can you pretend to be a lolly for me? I think that'd be super hot or anything. There's none of that. Absolutely none of that. But again, because I don't want to leave any stone unturned or whatever the saying is, I figured I'd put that out there. It's one of those Ricada half-truths that you just have to kind of address. But I didn't think like describing an action that I was gonna do meant that we were being the caricatures, I guess. I don't know, bro. This shit is so autistic. And this is all to prove that I'm like some evil pedophile that, you know, should be like not able to talk or speak. Like, again, like, it's kind of comical how hard they try to make sure they silence me. Like, you hear this said time and time again by probably your favorite e-celeb or something, but like, come on, the proof is in the pudding for this one. Ain't no way you're working this hard for somebody that's like, let's be honest, doesn't even have that much clout at all. If not, I probably don't even have any clout at all, I'd wager. When compared to the other people that have legions of fans fighting their honor. I mean, I'm kind of on my own if you look at it. And so again, it's like one of those things where, like, you know, just look at all the proof. Proof is in the pudding. One thing that I will agree with the lolicons on and will probably make future content on just for fun, it's like the people that preach that lolly is terrible taking up the side of people that are pedos. This is a thing that happens, dude. Like... This is what I've been, like, lately, I've been doing hypocrisy arguments and pointing this shit out, like, with the Muda thing, the Muda video that I put out. Some people were actually confused, and they're like, does this mean you're pro-lolly, or does this mean you're anti? I guess I'm just, like, uncaring, right, when it comes to this shit. Just keep it away from me, because that's been the bane of my existence. Denying this shit, like, denying, you know, people posting these images or whatever, even though it was just, like, one time, and my mindset was like, all right, this is what you gotta go through. This is a chick, she's a weeb, and I guess you just gotta go through this, the nudes, and that is all my thought on it. It's a very stupid thing to think, yeah, but again, I wasn't thinking that any of these caricatures were underage. Given the inconsistency of the body types that were being posted, the art style, which can be deceptive, the fact that I didn't correlate lolly or lolicon to CP, because I would think that a YouTuber would not be saying, oh, I'm going to lick this lollies, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, that would be, I didn't think Lost Pause would say like shit live on air and people would just like agree with it or whatever. Again, I thought it was like one of those terms that you just kind of, it's thrown out there, right? Like, oh, it's a petite chick, or it's somebody that's not stacked like Reyes Gremory or whatever. Weebs will get that reference. But that's pretty much it. This video is mainly for the people that wanted answers and they wanted to know, oh, Sen, are you actually this sus criminal, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't think I am. I think after I showed you all this, you guys can take away from it that everybody that's pretty much pedo-jacketed me is bad fate. They're so bad fate that in the off chance that people are like, well, so who cares if Sen likes lolly? They're gonna go ahead and be like, actually, you know what? Let's change the narrative. He was actually flirting with an underage girl in there, and there was CP. Like, this is what I mean. Like, when the original story is such a nothing burger, you have to start adding new things to it that are just blatant fucking lies that I can disprove. Yeah, I mean, it's not really truthful at that point, is it?